Drew and Stu are on the air.
Ready? What?
Whether you're fading with Drew or riding with Cam, this is the place to get your weekly NFL picks.
Everything you got, let's go.
Hello and welcome to the Drew and Stu podcast. It's day 2 of March Madness. Day 1, it was okay, Cam. Kentucky losing to Oakland. What the hell? We got Chandler Bing hitting 10 3-pointers, Cam. Like, what the hell's going on here?
Chandler Bing, yeah, great hairline. I'll tell you something, though. The best story is this. You got John Calipari dripping
What?
Gucci.
He can't be back, right? He can't be back, first off.
Well, we talked about this at length at my show. John Calipari does one thing. He puts kids in the NBA and he makes the money. But that's not your job. Your job is to maintain one of the best college programs. Drew, do you understand? I'm not that much older. Kentucky was a mainstay Final Four team every year. Every year. They would be in the national championship hunt. You can't beat the Oakland Golden Grizzlies, small town out of Michigan. I'm going to tell you something. Calipari, he gets kids there, but that's the whole problem, dude. Worry about your program. And I'll tell you, lack of interest. Already made money. He's like those rich guys in broadcasting who have already checked out. They're bringing nothing to the table. There's no game plan. We talked about it on our show. It's like street ball out there. There was no stopping anything when no set plays.
Cam, Oakland was just chucking up threes. You think he'd be like, hey guys, let's cover the perimeter.
You might want to change the defense and know what Oakland does. That's what they do. I've watched Oakland play a lot this year, and they're not even that bad of a team. But this is the thing, Drew. When you're like a guy that's been successful your whole life and made money, he's just, you know what, Calipari? Bring in a young, hungry coach from another small school, and let's rebuild the Kentucky Wildcat program. Other than that, hey, March Madness is March Madness. We've seen craziness. What about a comeback? Nevada had that game in the bag.
Holy
Dayton
shit.
came back. That's the thing. No lead is safe. Remember, Drew? The L word, lock. I tell people, guy texts me, oh, yeah, Nevada. The minute you get the text, you're done. Here comes Dayton.
How do you score 4 points in the last 8 minutes of a basketball game, Cam, when you're up by that? It's
And Drew, and this is very important for people. We've talked about this all the time. It's not going to, there's usually going to be one team in every conference that's disappointing, maybe two, but take a look at the SEC. South Carolina got throttled by the Oregon Ducks, okay? What about next? Kentucky, a 3 seed. You're gone. You get smoked as a monster favorite against Oakland. Are we done yet? There was another team, too. The only team that won was Tennessee, and they played St. Peter's. You know what I'm saying? It was a bad day for the SEC, man. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Oh, yeah, Mississippi State, murdered by Michigan State. So let's throw it down. Loss, humongous loss. Only team that won, Tennessee. And I'll tell you, I'm going to make a prediction.
I'll give Iowa State credit, too. Iowa State's
Big 12. They're Big 12.
But I'm saying they handled their business. Like, out of all the teams that like big favorites. Like,
but here's the deal, Drew. This is things that we have to look for, and look at the Mountain West. Nevada gagged. Colorado State looked great against Virginia. They scored 11 points in the first half.
I saw, Cam, as you know, I have a big Denver following on my Twitter, and all of them are so pissed. They're so pissed about Colorado State's performance.
Don't worry. There's another team in the state, the Buffaloes. Rams are out. Buffaloes are still there by time of
little
taping.
Deion Sanders influence on the basketball team now.
Yeah. Anyway, Drew, I know our bracket sucks, but I did say one thing. I should have listened to you on a couple things, but I said, this is what I've learned over the years about this tournament. Public dogs, it's worse than any other tournament. This is every grandmas are betting this tournament. Every office pool in the United States and Canada is betting this pool. If too many people are on a pooch, it's a problem. McNeese was the most hot, trendy hipster pick. They were done.
Everyone had it, including us. We put them in our bracket.
Hey, we all. And the thing is, I don't like falling for that stuff because we talk about it in football betting. Like, why is everybody on one side? We're not right all the time, but these are flags that have to be raised. And I'll tell you, that team, Samford, got screwed at the end of that game against Kansas on that block. That was so stupid. But
Dude,
you know what?
That was the cleanest block ever.
Okay, here's
how do they call a foul there?
Drew, how come in every other sport we can review something? Can we have like a reviewable play? Like, but the problem is that these guys go to the monitor all the time. So,
like Cam, not a single part of his body touched him besides his hand on the ball.
Like refs don't automatically think it's a foul. Like they almost like instinctively.
You know why? It's because his body flipped around and he landed. They're like, oh, it must have been physical contact.
Drew, it's so annoying. Like I gotta tell you, those guys grinded so hard. But anyway,
And you know what happens now is now they're going to go on to the Final Four or something because of that break they got.
No, they're not. Kansas is going to lose their next game to Gonzaga, but we'll talk about that later.
Cam, the way it works, the team that should have lost always gets, now we have momentum. Here we go.
You're right, but they're too thin, Drew. They're missing too many players, but we'll talk about this. We'll talk.
All right. Gonzaga took care of business. You said it on the show when we were making the bracket. You were like, I don't like it. McNeese is probably going to lose their first game, and you were right.
I'm wrong a lot,
Duquesne,
too,
though,
Drew. I'm
Duquesne,
wrong a lot.
We both like Duquesne. That was a bad pick too. It's fine.
No, Duquesne. BYU. Duquesne beat BYU. We had BYU.
That's what I'm saying.
But you actually like Duquesne. You like
sorry,
Duquesne.
we didn't like Duquesne. I mentioned it, and you were like, no, BYU.
Yeah, I thought Duquesne. No, I said Duquesne would cover. BYU would win. I didn't know they're going to win outright. Yes. I got to tell you something, Drew. The A-10 did quite well too. Think about the other team in the Atlantic 10. That's Dayton, who came back and beat Nevada. It's a gritty little conference. Like those guys are probably done their next game, but. You know what I've learned another thing about this tournament? I like schools with kids who have been there a long time. This is the key to this tournament.
The guys with the receding hairlines.
Yeah, receding hairlines. Guys who are like literally 20 who look 35. Those are the teams that you want. Guys who can chuck threes, guard plays. And when they say this team has been together for like 4 years and stuff, instead of one and dones, I love that stuff.
Cameron, it seems like small ball's taken over. All these big schools, like with the big guys in the paint, like they're not winning these games. Like it's just the shooting schools are winning.
Drew, NBA, same story. All these guys do. Why do you think the Denver Nuggets are like the only team that go inside to Jokic and stuff? That's why they're gonna. Every other team, they bomb threes. It's just it's a new world. Like when we played basketball, that was never my sport. Like you know what I mean? I have no hops. But all the guys we played with, you'd have a big man, like 6'5" guy that you know in school. You feed him in the middle, dunk, that type of stuff. You still need 3-point shooters. It's key, but that game, the inside game is just kind of.
We used to see like 10 threes a game. Now we're seeing 30 or 40. And it's like, what the hell's going on?
That's how Washington State won their game. Coming back against Drake, their guy inside is amazing. Like he just started pounding, spin moves, dunks. Like that's one team that has a good big man. Like so, you know what, Drew? This tournament, anybody's game right now. Like even UConn.
I still say day 1 and day 2 of March Madness is probably top 5 sporting event of the year.
I would consider it
up there with the Masters and the Super Bowl for me.
I would consider it top 3. Those are exactly my 3: Masters, Super Bowl, March Madness, and then
I'd say round 1 of the Stanley Cup playoffs is still my favorite because nothing beats playoff hockey.
I love playoff hockey too, but I'm just saying, if we're talking about like a one-day event, like Sunday at the Masters, for day 1 and 2 of college basketball, Super Bowl sometimes has been disappointing, to be honest with you.
And honestly, week 1 of the NFL season is probably up there too.
Yeah,
like week 1, the Sunday.
I would agree.
First Sunday, that's
and I love CFL.
Anyway,
I love CFL opening weekend. But I'm a psycho.
No one watches the CFL.
I do. But anyway, let's continue.
So we're gonna go over our day 2 picks of the tournament, then we're getting into some hockey futures, then preview the NHL slate tonight. So it won't just be all basketball. If you're just a hockey fan, click that button in the description. Fast forward to the hockey talk, where we talk about why the Nashville Predators may be winning the Stanley Cup. Who knows? We'll a little tease for later. All right, Cam, let's get into the Friday slate. There's a lot of games on the slate. We're using covers.com for our percentages. You want to give your first lock of the day, not lock, but your first pick that you liked today?
Okay. The Florida Atlantic game, the money line's gone up to -182. I think they beat Northwestern. These games are early. The one dog I like, and I'm really worried because I think a lot of people are going to bet them. I don't understand the line between UAB and San Diego State. We've already seen the Mountain West struggle. UAB, not only do they play a great pace, they score 100 points, 96 points. Like even when they lost to Memphis, they're scoring in the 90s. This is a very dangerous Blazer team, and this program is gritty. Asking a team like San Diego State, despite being one of the best defensive teams in the league, to win by margin is dangerous. UAB. Drew, I have a change of heart and an apology to you. You've always been a Clemson Tiger. New Mexico is the hipster team. Everybody's on them, and even people that I know that are on them are getting off them, including this guy. Give me Clemson +2.5, +115 money line. That game is at 3:10 Eastern. I'm going on Clemson. I also think Texas A&M is a good pick against Nebraska.
I said give one. We're gonna go back and forth. You're giving me all your picks.
Oh! I thought I was doing mine and you were doing yours. Oh, sorry.
No,
okay, I'll start. I'll end with Clemson and you continue, Drew. Sorry, I get so excited with this.
I know you get so excited. I love Clemson today too, Cam. We said it on the bracket show. We both picked New Mexico because you convinced me off that. I was like, all right, I guess Cam, I couldn't do it, but you convinced me. But yeah, today I'm going on back. I'm going to bet on Clemson as well outright. The New Mexico thing. SDSU. Are you worried about the reverse line movement with UAB?
Yeah, I am. That's why it would have been one of my great question, Drew. It would have been one of my top plays, but sometimes you just have to say, I think the team who's the underdog can play with them. A good way to bet an underdog. Do you think they can win outright? I do.
Fair.
UAB is a really good team. The problem is San Diego State's defense is great. This bet is
Yeah.
predicated on San Diego State not scoring enough. And UAB, you don't want to try. If San Diego State increases their pace and wants to get into a scoring match with UAB, they'll lose outright in this game. I'll take the 7.5.
All right, my first pick, Cam, will be Colorado over Florida outright, not just on the spread. It's plus 1.5. It's a close game, but the Gators, Cam, I don't trust them. And a team from the first four has made the second round in 5 straight years, Cam, and I think this is the team from the first four that's going to make the second round. So I love Colorado to win this game outright. A little Clemson-Colorado parlay in the 3 o'clock slate of the games, Cam. Sign me up.
Drew, I know you're an Avalanche guy. Maybe we should just move to Colorado so you can, smoke a little bit, have some fun. At the wedding they call it a bud tender. They serve drinks and other things. Colorado is a beautiful scenic state, and despite Colorado State scoring 11 points in their game and embarrassing the state, Colorado can win this game as well. I'm a little bit worried. I know the SEC's been bad. Florida's a pretty good team, but I lean Colorado. It's not a game that I'm going to smash, but I'm going to have a piece of every game. I like Colorado too.
Yeah, Cam, I mean, yeah, I feel like they easily beat Boise State, so I think this should be a decent game for them. I think they're the
I
better
wouldn't say
team, honestly.
easily beat Boise State. They pulled away at the end.
Yeah,
But
I'm just
Boise
saying, I think
State's
they're a
still
better
a
team
pretty
than
good
Florida.
team. They're battle tested with veterans. Here's the thing about Florida, Drew. They can literally win this game by 20 or lose by 20. That's the Florida
Yeah.
Gators. And
Depends
that's a
which
lot of
Gator team shows
SEC
up.
teams. Very flaky.
All right, Cam, what's your next pick that you'll be betting on this afternoon?
Well, these aren't monster plays. I like the late slate a little bit better, but I'm taking Texas A&M.
Hell yeah.
Nebraska is one of these teams, and I know they've been hot, and they're a great shooting team. But the problem with Nebraska is when you take the Cornhuskers away from Cornland, they're a totally different team. Texas A&M, on the other hand, they're a rebounding team. And if Nebraska's shots aren't hitting, Texas A&M on the offensive glass is going to have second, third, and fourth chances. What does that lead to? Fouls. That's a bad recipe for Nebraska. I know Texas Tech let us down, and I can't lie. We're very transparent on the show. I like Texas Tech against NC State. That was a debacle, but I'm coming back. Are you an Aggie? You're damn right. Give me the Aggies plus 1.5, sprinkle plus 102 money line.
And Cam, Texas A&M was supposed to be a very good team coming into the season, and they had a disappointing start, but they won 5 of their last 6. They should have been way higher up in the standings in the SEC. I think they're going to win this game easily, Cam. I think this should be a 6-point spread for Texas A&M. I think they're a better team than Nebraska. As long as they hit their shots, I think that it's a cakewalk for them.
Cakewalk, Drew. See these words that I love you like a brother, but never. No game in the NCAA tournament is a cakewalk other than Tennessee smashing St. Peter's.
Cam, I'm telling you, Texas A&M wins this game by 15 plus.
I think they win the game by 6 to 8, and that's good enough for me. The spread's 1.5.
All right, I'll tell you 74-58. That's my pick for Texas A&M.
Yeah, I'm thinking about 71-63. Okay.
All right, fair enough. Either way, the underdog wins outright. So we like 3 underdogs now. We like Clemson, we like Colorado, we like Texas A&M. They're all small underdogs, but we still like them.
Yep.
My next one, Cam, which I'll have a sprinkle on. Even though in our bracket we went the other way, I love Charleston plus 9, and I'm going to sprinkle on the money line against Alabama. I know Alabama is the highest scoring team in the nation. I don't care, Cam. How do you feel about this game?
I'm actually taking Charleston too. I'd be very careful for all you people betting totals. This total's steamed. It's up to 173.5, and it is going to be a track meet. I've watched both of these teams. There's no defense involved. It actually could get into the 200s, but Alabama is a very talented team, but they also can play down to the level of their competition, and Charleston is no joke. They've been in this tournament many times. They're battle-tested kids. This school actually deserves a lot more respect. I see 9.5 on my book, that hook. Whatever, I'd take it probably still at 7.5, 8. I agree with you, Drew. Charleston plus 9.5. I forgot there's one favorite earlier. I think Auburn takes Yale out to the woodshed at -12. I think they win that game. That's the game I think the team wins by 24.
Yeah, that's possible. Yeah, you're like you said, Charleston now up to 9.5, and Cam, they're one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the nation. If they're hitting their shots, it'll be a lot closer than this 9.5 points. I think even if Alabama does win, I think it's like a 3 to 5 point game. And you know what I love, Cam, which I don't know if you play these anymore, but ProLine has the ties or if a game finishes within 5 points, you win.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll pick all those 1 point and 2 point spreads and put tie, and the odds are insane. And all you need to do is have the game finish within 5 points.
A lot of them will finish within 5 points too, but I always know what the worst is, Drew, at the fouls at the end, and a lot of the time
I know the free throw, and then the team wins by 6.
Yeah. What happened with that Washington State Drake game? What did they end up winning by 6? That was the best tie game ever. It was tight the whole way through, and then
true.
Yeah, I think, wasn't it 6? You could double check for me, but it was.
I'll look right now.
Yeah, I remember. I'm like, how does this game not land within 5? And things happen at the end of games, turnovers, foul shots, whatever. But Drew, one quick bet while you're looking that up. I think it's very important. I don't play a lot of first halves.
It finished 5 points. 5 point game.
5. Yeah, I thought it was 6. So, yep. So you win again. So winner again, Drew. Winner again. So here's the thing. Houston, they're playing Longwood. See, Moorhead State's out. So I guess now the sexy team is Longwood instead of Moorhead State. These guys are toast. And I'll tell you one thing about Houston. They come out, they like literally might have like a 26-2 lead early in this game. When you look at teams and spreads, 23 and a half, I like Houston first half in that game. They're probably going to win this game by, I'm thinking they beat Longwood by 38 points.
What do you think about Duke and Vermont? I think Duke might take Vermont to the woodshed.
I'm actually scared about that game, so I'm laying off. I think the Vermont Catamounts are actually not as bad as people think. I think Duke wins that game probably right around the number, between 10 to 12. And what is it, 12 and a half? That game has got, you know what, Drew? I will probably bet every game, but there's some games that I don't really need to touch, like Grambling and Purdue or Duke and Vermont. Like there's other stuff I like on the board. You know what I'm saying?
I will say Catamounts probably one of the worst names in the tournament. Like what? Like, I don't know. What's a catamount?
Oh God! Okay, it's like a cat. A catamount's a cat.
I'm looking it up right now. It's a type of cougar.
It's a type. Yes, like a lynx, like a cougar. Yeah. Like a mountain lion?
Call them the Cougars. Or the
no, the cat. No, don't call them the Cougars. This is Drew, you've given me so much material. BYU Cougars, Washington State Cougars. There's so many damn Cougars. How about more cat? No, what? How about you be a lynx? How about you be a mountain lion? How about you be any other type of fucking cat instead of a cougar or a tiger? How many tigers are there out there?
I'm just saying, catamount sounds stupid.
Catamounts is awesome. What do you want to call them?
Like something that's
the Vermont weeds. They should be the Vermont weed smokers. Vermont green, Vermont greenhouse. I don't know. Like all I know is Vermont is pretty and a lot of people smoke weed and they love ice cream. That's Vermont. Beautiful state. Close to Montreal.
Okay. So you're saying you don't like the total in the Purdue game because it's 140 points.
I don't like your take on catamounts for one. Like tigers and cougars. Drew, that's the whole problem with college. I could probably name you. Okay, how many cougars and tigers are playing today?
Yeah, you're not wrong. I'm just saying Catamount's a stupid name. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
I'd rather be called the Mountain
another
Cats.
One. Northwest Wildcats. Could I have a Kentucky Wildcats? Ooh.
Oh, so many Wildcats. Wildcats is too annoying. It's
there's a lot of. The only reason you don't hate Cougars.
What do you think about the Stetson Hatters?
I love
that.
The Stetson. See that is an awesome name again. Like I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Hey Drew, have you seen the names in the Big West Conference? Banana slugs, amazing. Like, are you talking about gauchos, matadors? Like those are names. Like if you don't like the names in the Big West Conference, you don't like sports.
Fair. I'm just trying to think like the worst name state. It's got to be Catamounts.
Isn't that awesome?
Hatters.
Banana slugs.
That is good.
The
Longwood Lancers.
Oh, I got another one. The UC University of California Irvine Anteaters.
Yeah,
that's the name.
That's cool.
See, this is good. We should have done a whole damn show on nicknames and stuff like that. I got a lot of opinions.
Well, I know you love themes, and I'm trying to think of like a
Actually,
theme
you know
of our
what,
bets
Drew?
today.
I do have a theme. Today. Every cat team, I think will cover, but I'm not sure about Vermont. Tigers, right? Okay. Actually, no, that doesn't work. That doesn't work in the early game because it's Wildcats. But hold on, I'll tell you what. I looked at this. Houston Cougars, cat.
Yeah.
Clemson Tigers, cat.
Mm-hmm.
Auburn Tigers, cat. And I think cats are going to have a good day. And there's one more. D. Arizona. Oh, no, it's tomorrow. Arizona Wildcats. And there's another game.
Oh, the Charleston Cougars.
Yeah, they are the Charleston Cougars. Thank you. I think cats go like 4-2 or 5-1 ATS today. That's my.
So we got the Cats and a Buffalo. That's our bets today.
Cats in Buffalo. Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah.
Do you like?
Fair,
What
that's
about
fine.
God? The St. Mary's Gales? Are you down with that?
No, that's
Over the
stupid.
Grand Canyon Lopes, the Antelopes.
Yeah, the Lopes are a cool name.
Thank you. Now you're actually buying what I'm selling. Thank you, Drew.
All right, let's move on, Cam, to the ice, the frozen. What do they call it? What's the
Frozen
nickname for ice?
water.
Frozen.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
call me
whatever,
when I
whatever.
make my hockey bets Ron Rubber.
Yeah,
I guess
okay.
you can
So
get
let's-
yourself a nickname. If I'm Ron
So
Rubber,
I
who
love
do you
shot
want to
props,
be?
as you know, Cam. But tonight I'll be playing a points parlay. Let me know what you think of this one. So this is what I got cooked up. I've already made this bet. So if you don't like it, too bad. Money's already in. Money's already given to the dealer. I like Ovechkin to get 1 point against the Carolina Hurricanes
Agreed.
tonight. Sidney Crosby and Sagan to both get a point in the Pittsburgh-Dallas game.
Love it.
Nichushkin and Cale Makar both get a point in Colorado-Columbus. And Clayton Keller to get a point against the Seattle Kraken. 6 guys to get a point. Pays 20-1.
Can you send me that, please? I'm going to play it because you've always gone at least like almost 80% in these things, and sometimes you should have hit them and have bad luck. You want to go
Cam,
through?
I would have hit a 40-1 if Ovechkin got 4 shots against the Leafs on Tuesday night or
Yeah.
Wednesday night. I was pissed.
Yeah, the
4
one night
shots for
he
Ovechkin,
doesn't
come on.
take 14 shots.
Stupid.
Honest to God,
I was like that. That was like the throw in. I was like, okay, well, that's an easy part of this parlay. But
That-
yeah,
no, as we
it's always the
talked
throw-ins
about-
that fuck you.
Didn't we talk about this in football? The easy throw in, the game that
Mhm.
kills you.
The minus 600 money line always screws up the parlay. It's not worth the juice and the extra juice.
It's not.
It is, yeah.
Don't ever do. And trust me, I've learned my lesson, and I come back to it too because your brain is trained to. Hey, that's easy. Let's just try to jack it up. Big mistake.
Yeah. All right, Cam. Let's go into some. We'll look at the slate tonight. Do you like any of the games tonight on the board? We got Carolina at Washington, Pittsburgh at Dallas, Columbus at Colorado, Seattle at Arizona. I don't like laying the juice on Colorado against Columbus minus 380. That's too much. So if I'm going to play that game, it'll be the total. It'll be over 6.5.
Drew,
Games I like. I
I'm gonna
like
tell you
Washington as an
something.
underdog at home. As
I'm
crazy
gonna-
as that sounds. What
I'm
do you
going to
think?
tell you something. I'm taking on FanDuel Ontario the Columbus Blue Jackets plus 2.5 minus 135.
That's crazy. That 2.5 is still only minus 130.
Is that not good?
Yeah, that's amazing.
So you like it? Like, so you can win. Hey, 5-3 Colorado, and I'm winning. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm taking Columbus. I think Columbus actually. Drew, your team's so hot. You've won 7 in a row, right? 7
5
in a
on
row.
the road. Best team, home team in the NHL though, Cam. That's the only I'm worried about for Columbus.
Oh, when you say to the guy or click the button, I'm betting Columbus. You're already like you're not a. What, you think you're a confident person? I'm just saying. I
It's true.
get. This team has to beat me by 3 goals, and I only have to lay 35 cents. I'm in.
Yeah. You're not wrong. I even if Colorado
Oh, I
wins
could
6-0,
be wrong.
it's still
Final
a good bet to
score:
make.
Colorado 7, Columbus 1. But I'm just saying. I like.
No, yeah, you're right. No matter, even if Colorado smokes them, it's still worth the price because that price should not be offered.
Thank you.
It's like sometimes I'll do like the Ducks and Blackhawks to win by 2.5, just because it's like 15-1 for this team to win by 3 goals. I'm like, fuck it, like I'll just parlay those together.
Drew, I
Now
had
I have
the Ducks
100-1
last
parlay on
night.
2 games.
Quack, quack,
Just-
quack. And know what you want to talk about a guy with no stones? I had a huge parlay. When Seattle tied that game up against Vegas, I cashed out. I was like,
Oh, Cam.
no, because I seen the movie before. Like you know what it's
True.
like. Like Vegas usually and then good old late goal by Vegas. Then they score
And they
another.
did it to Seattle last week. They did the same thing to Seattle last week. They came back and won in overtime.
Anyway, it's still profit, but what a coward I am. Anyway, just see, I tell the truth on the show. Like I was done.
fair. I mean, hey, as long as you make a profit, though, that's a good day.
It
That's
could have been
that's
a
my
lot.
motto.
I really need those extra monies for basketball betting today, but yeah, we'll talk about that later, right, Drew?
All right, Cam, let's see if you agree with me on this little 4-game parlay. So I like Washington outright against Carolina at home. I like teams that get smoked coming
You're
back.
betting on the Capitals tonight? That's a bold
Cam,
pick.
they just got smoked in the game before. Playoff lives are on the line. They're back at home.
I like it.
I like teams that get smoked to come back.
So
and win.
do I. It's one of my biggest, honestly, in any sport, if you guys look at teams that get absolutely annihilated and embarrassed, they come back and usually do good damage. Dude, you could get Washington. I know you don't lay juice. They're plus one. I'm going to say that certain books are really good for hockey. Certain books are good. So as I said, shop around because there's always something for somebody. Washington's only plus 1.5, minus 140, but I would take the money line at plus 170.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that. Pittsburgh against Dallas. I like Dallas to win this game.
So do I.
I just don't think.
How about the
I
puck
don't think
line
Pittsburgh got it.
too? Pittsburgh Greeks.
Yeah, I agree. Colorado, I'm going to take the minus 1.5.
And I'll take the plus 2.5 with Columbus.
Sure, let's do the plus 2.5 then.
Yeah.
That's fine. And then Seattle, Arizona, give me Seattle. Despite it being a back-to-back, I just still like them to win.
That game has got trouble written all over it. I want no part of it, but I would lean Seattle. Yeah.
Okay, for the show though. Okay, so let me find Columbus plus 2.5. I can't believe that this is minus 135.
Can you believe it? I can because it's right in front of me right now, and they do
All right,
it a
so
lot.
we got Washington, Dallas, Seattle, and Columbus plus 2.5. 12-1 parlay.
Awesome,
Not
but
bad.
do yours with Colorado. Do yours with Colorado. Just money. What's Colorado money line?
It's minus 360. It's not worth it.
No. But listen. Colorado money line just to win the game. Dallas and Washington. That's going to be plus like 2 and 3 to 1.
Dallas, Washington, Colorado. Take Seattle off.
No.
It's plus
Washington. Yeah, Washington, Colorado, Dallas money line parlay. I bet is 3 to 1. That's off
plus 450.
Excuse me. What'd you say?
Yeah, plus 450.
Nothing wrong with two favorites and a small dog for plus 450. What's wrong with 450? 100 gets you 550. Sounds
and
pretty
Cam,
good.
I like when you go into the game and you pick the regulation win when you have a big favorite because it lowers it. Like if you could do that with Colorado, it lowers from 370 to 250.
Problem is, Drew, I used to do that too, and then like watching the Leafs give up late goals to go to overtime all the time.
Well, Cam, you don't bet on the Leafs. That's a lesson for hockey bettors.
Is Dangle and his crew listening? You just love ripping the Leafs. It's just
dude. It's true though. If they're ever up 3 goals, you bet the other team live plus 2.5.
They never
know they're
going to
get within 1.
They don't know how to pull away. And I'll say this: kudos to Morgan Frost, son of legendary broadcaster Andy Frost, who buried the Leafs that night. That guy's good, man. He's good. You like Morgan Frost's game? I wish he was a Leaf.
I do. Wasn't Andy Frost also the 1 minute remaining in the third period?
Well, he used to be. He was the guy. They have a new guy now, Mike Ross, but he used to be. He was the PA guy of the Leafs, and he was the best DJ in probably Canada, like for classic rock. That's amazing.
All right, Cam, let's get into some futures, some sprinkles that I like. I know you got one on the Nashville Predators. Explain to the viewers why you think the Predators have what it takes to win the Stanley Cup.
They're peaking at the right time, Drew. And here's the thing. When you look at futures, you always try to find a team when, they're kind of middling or whatever. I'm not saying the Nashville Predators are going to win the Stanley Cup by any stretch. But when I get a team at 35 to 1, and now they're hotter than hell, they beat Florida 3-0 last night. Now they're 18 to 1. I got a ticket in my pocket at 35 to 1. Saros has been.
Cam, realistically, what do they need to win? 1 round before you can hedge that, or cash it out?
The only teams I think, I'm going through the teams in the West. Can they beat? I think they can almost beat anybody but Colorado.
I think they could beat Colorado too, Cam.
They play a really mean game. Saros is awesome too. Their defense is really tight. Have you seen their scores recently, Drew? Oh my God.
Cam, it's crazy. Once Saros is hot, he's probably one of the best goalies.
I couldn't agree with you more. Drew. What a ticket. 35 to 1. At one point, I think it was like 50.
Yeah. Well, Cam, before this big 14-0-2 run they had, they were way out of the playoffs.
Yeah.
It was just now they're easily going to make the spot. They might squeeze in the division part of the playoffs, but I think whoever wins the division has to play Nashville. Good luck. I feel bad for that team. I'm hoping it's Vancouver, but it's likely going to be the Central Division champion. What a gauntlet that division is going to be with Winnipeg, Dallas, Colorado, and Nashville.
Winnipeg's a weird team too. They can beat you they can lose or play a real tightening game.
I don't know if I trust them to win in the playoffs. That's the thing.
Actually, who do you like more, Nashville or Winnipeg?
Nashville.
Okay, and do me a favor right now. Go and check the odds of both teams to win the Stanley Cup or whatever, and I guarantee Winnipeg is 10 points. They're what, 15? Or
let's see.
Whatever. They're Nashville's odds will be way better.
Nashville is 18 to 1.
Mm-hmm.
Winnipeg is 13 to 1.
I rest my case.
Yeah, you're not wrong. The Leafs 16 to 1. Cam, no one believes them anymore. Usually
they're
up there near the top.
You give me a nice smooth 20, and I'll give my money away to charity like I do every year.
What I do like, Cam, is little Flyers 50 to 1 action.
The Flyers are okay. Pump the brakes. The Flyers are going.
Did you see? So Tortorella is up for Jack Adams, or he'll likely be one of the 3 nominees for Jack Adams for getting this team into the playoffs. Some of the reporters online are like, "Oh, because he scratched Couturier, he shouldn't be allowed to win the Jack Adams." Come on.
Those people should lose their credentials. He actually, for all the things I don't like about John Tortorella, like throwing people under the bus, he makes bold moves that other coaches don't have.
And he doesn't care who you are. Yes. You're playing like shit. You're going to the press box.
Drew, that's the way. If me and you say you were the coach and I was the assistant coach, and I go, Drew, our best player is a slug, And
Yeah.
I don't care how
He
much
needs a
money he
lesson.
makes. I'm calling up some kid from, the AHL team, and he's going to go out there, play his 8 minutes, get a point, put somebody through the glass. You know what? That's one thing I like about Tortorella. He doesn't give a fuck what
doesn't
you
give a
make.
shit.
If you're shit, you get benched. That's what I liked about Nashville, because a lot of their stars were like middling for a while, and you start to like less minutes. Hey, here's a tip, dude. Get hungry, score, get better, and then you know what? I'll keep on playing you. That's the whole thing. And then what? The Leafs coach does it. That's the thing I don't like about Keith. He's too nice to those stars on the team. He's got to give them a punch in the face.
He's scared of them because they'll go to media and be like, the coach was mean to me.
Yeah. But the problem is those kids also, they can't take it. Like, if you do that to a Colorado player, even Nathan McKinnon would be like, he gets so mad, he'd go up to the coach and go, you fucking prick. You're actually you're putting, you're benching me. He'd go at the next shift and score 2 goals and go, see, I'm playing the rest of the game.
Well, Cam,
shift me.
Weirdly, most teams and coaches have arguments. Like, you'll see players yelling at the
coach.
coach.
I've yelled at my coach when we played sports. You have to. Don't you have any passion?
And you look at some of these contenders like the Leafs, though, Cam, where the players are just like,
I know.
Please don't yell at me, coach.
Drew, and you know what? You hit the nail on the head. And I'm not saying anything. They have great talent players on the team, but the guy, you have to, I don't care how old you are. I know you can't be the old school guy and bag skate kids and do all this stuff, make them
You should be able to. I hate that you can't now. It's stupid.
Buddy, when I played hockey, they used to torture us when they put weights on us and make you barf.
Dude, we lost the game. The practice wasn't a practice. It was cardio.
Yeah. Our coach used to and do it with weights, and then till you're puking, you're on the ground. He's like, "Have you had enough? Are you going to play better?" Those guys would be in jail today. But that's the whole thing. I don't care if you're a prima donna or not. Everybody needs a wake up call. Me, you, Austin Matthews, everybody. And the problem is, if you don't have the thick skin to take it, you're in the wrong business.
Yep. And
we've all been berated before. I think me and you on Twitter by our horrible football picks. And you know what? If you can't take it, it's too hot. Too hot in the kitchen, get out.
There was a former player who said that he doesn't think the Leafs will ever win because the fans are too hard on them, and I was like,
fans too hard on them? I'm like a teddy bear with no claws. I come back to these guys.
Can you imagine a Liverpool player going like, "Oh guys, the fans are too hard on me in the LEPL. We can't win because the fans are." They get fireworks shot at them, death threats. Like, the NHL has it so easy that these players don't realize.
Liverpool guy walks into a pub when he hasn't scored in 16 matches, and the guy literally throws. He gives him a Glasgow kiss, that's basically a glass through your head, and he's like, "You do better next time, you lose." These guys have never had it so good. But I will say one thing, and this is very important before we move on. Markets like Montreal and Toronto, they're actually do it to themselves, because I did the journey to the Cup when I worked from the Score for a few years, and I learned something. Those teams in Nashville, I'm walking in with a belt buckle, cracking jokes with all the guys on the team. When PK Subban was there, there's 3 friggin' reporters. They had the broadcast team. Terry Crisp was there, his guy, a couple other newspaper reporters, and me as the clown from Canada. They didn't have to deal with 80 people with fake credentials that come in and you can't even get clips. They have to tighten this stuff. The Montreal, Toronto media, they're killing their own franchises too with the way they handle the teams. And I've seen it firsthand.
It's because everyone wants to hear about them. And then people get mad. They're like, why is everything about the Leafs? It's because the Leafs get clicks. It's like, why is everything about the Cowboys in the NFL? Because when you talk about the Cowboys, everyone watches and listens.
Buddy, I'll tell you a story about the Cowboys. You want to talk about these guys have done nothing, but we'll do football shows later. That team.
Well, Cam, they might not have a quarterback. We got to wait and see what happens with that.
Oh, I know. They're how does Philadelphia not win that division? It's simply a lock. Sorry,
Cam, Washington's going to be sneaky. I'm going to have a little sprinkle on them.
Yeah, I know they'll find a way to screw it up. But yeah, they might come second.
On paper, Cam, that team's pretty stacked. They just need a quarterback.
I like your style, Drew. I like your style.
The
Giants are rebuilding.
Cam, let's get out of here. Any last second betting advice for the tournament for the bettors here in the second round, third round? What do you got?
Stick to your guns. When too many people are on one side, question it. It doesn't mean you have to change your bet, but dig a little bit deeper. What else would I say? No game is over.
After day one, Cam, are you changing who you think is going to win the tournament? Has anyone impressed you enough to make you think okay, they got what it takes?
No, but okay. I do think because the SEC has done so poorly, I expect Tennessee and Auburn to make deep runs. Their conference has been embarrassed. So those are teams. I'm not going to say they're winning. I still got UConn, but I will say
that, Cam. The Gators. We don't want the Gators to win today.
No, we don't. Problem is with a Gator, if a Buffalo's standing there by by the bog going for like
yeah,
water,
the
the gator grabs his leg. He might pull the buffaloes are heavy, but he needs a good grasp on. We need the buffalo basically to like catch the gator nabbit and just take a big chunk out of him. That's what we need.
Do buffaloes bite? No, they're herbivores, right? I don't even know.
I don't know. All I know is if there's a gator sitting there and he's not ready and a buffalo like stampedes him, that gator's not getting up. I ran away. Trust me, Drew. I ran away from a bison in the Northwest Territories, and when those things get moving, they will put a hole through a transport truck.
Wait. Before we get here, why were you getting chased by a bison?
I was trying to take a picture. This guy was playing a trick on me. It wasn't very funny. We didn't actually talk after that because I didn't realize. I took a picture.
Wait. He said, "Go take a picture of that buffalo."
Yeah, because it was beautiful. There's like a big wood buffalo, like in the middle there when we're driving from Yellowknife to Edmonton, and I took a picture. The buffalo went like he got up, and then he was saying, and when they those things can move. Once you're
like that Target commercial where they're like, "Start the car."
Yeah, start the car. Yeah. I'm telling you, those people don't understand. And if they at full speed, they will put a hole through a transport truck. They are massive.
And
Deers already do it. Think about the size of a buffalo. Anyway, just saying.
I'd rather be running away from a buffalo than a moose. But yeah, a lot of people think mooses are nice and like, oh, they're not that big. Like, no, those things are fucking huge.
No, the moose is the kangaroo of Canada. Kangaroos are not fun. They box people. Like you go up to a kangaroo, hey pal, bam, you're getting like just like
the jump kick to the chest.
Oh, dude, a moose will come back and give you like a double kick, and you're like through a tree. Like if you try to,
you're dead.
People want to pat a moose. Are you like what kind of drugs are you on? Moose are not pettable unless they're
if you hit a moose in your car, the moose will be fine. Your car won't be.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, don't approach animals like moose and buffalo. Like, obviously, everyone knows that bears are dangerous, but people think like, oh, he's just a little deer and stuff. Like, no, you don't get it. They don't want to be your friends.
They're wild.
And if they kick you in the right spot, like get you in the groin, you're not having children. Let's just put it into perspective.
Unless you're what is it, catamount? Then you can go near it as much as you want because it's a stupid.
Catamounts they're breeders, Drew. They're special super cats.
All right, let's get out of here. Anyways, we'll see you next week on Tuesday. Hopefully your brackets aren't totally busted like us. Yeah. Our Druids 2 brackets doing absolutely terrible. Cam, hopefully it picks up. Maybe if Marquette makes the finals, we're fine. We just need that to happen. Anyways, thank you for joining us. Please click like. Please click subscribe. Please rate and review the podcast on all audio platforms. And we will see you next week. Thanks, everybody.
This has been Drew and Stu. Follow Drew at Producer Drew and Cam at Cam Stewart Live. May the winners be yours and all of the best bets hit.